People often ask, how much produce can I expect to get off my little MILPA plot that I'm putting out to be able to donate to people? And again, like everything else, that answer is it depends. It depends on a lot of factors. One is going to depend on how good of a job you did getting the MILPA seed to soil contact to get that plant started. Number two, how good a job are you doing in controlling the weeds, either from a thatch, from a rolled down cereal rye crop, or just natural weed control. Putting effort into weeding it, whatever it may be, the competition from weeds is going to determine how much you get as well. A third factor, like all farmers, is going to be how much rainfall do you get. You know, if you're not able to irrigate your milpa, you're going to be dependent upon rainfall, and so that could make a huge difference, a huge variance in how much produce that you're going to get. In a perfect world, let's say you got a good stand, you had good weed control, you had good rainfall, the number of how much produce you can get is a big number, especially when you start looking at, you know, your melons and your squash and your pumpkins. Those things can really add up. It wouldn't surprise me if you could get 8 to 10,000 pounds of produce off of an acre if you were really out there picking and gleaning and harvesting it all. Now that's probably not realistic because there's a lot of things, you know, farming, not everything goes right all the time, so MILPA gardening doesn't either, and so that number automatically scales back from just some of these environmental conditions. And then you're not necessarily going to be out there picking every day. It's just not practical from a labor standpoint to do that, and so again, that's going to reduce. So I think it's very realistic to say that you could get 2, 3, 4,000 pounds, especially if your squash and your pumpkins and melons really take off. Cucumbers, you can get a lot of cucumbers. So I think that it could be significant amounts of those bigger vine vegetable type crops. The sweet corn is new this year. We're not exactly sure how well that's going to work and produce, but that could be significant. And then the thing that people often forget about, because it does take a lot of work, but you can get hundreds of pounds of leafy greens if you're diligent to be out there clipping on a regular basis. And again, that may or may not work out for how you're doing it, how you're working with it. At the very least, even if you're not clipping it on a regular basis and donating it, please go out there and clip it on a regular basis and eat it yourself. Feed it to your family. It's going to be good, healthy, nutritious food. And that all adds up. That's all part of the program. We want to make your family healthy as well as help you make your communities healthy as well.